Luke 10:18. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. But when? He told us in the chapter and verse. Luke 10:18. 10:18 plus its reflection. 8101 equals 911 from left to right and 911 from right to left. 911. In military time, when you get to the 12, you actually keep counting up. So the 1 becomes a 13, the 2 becomes a 14, the 3 becomes a 15, and so on till you get to the 11, which becomes a 23. So 911 is 923, the Feast of Trumpets. So I'm telling you that Satan falls like lightning on 923, the Feast of Trumpets, which is when we get caught up. It's simultaneous. The man-child is caught up, the dragon comes down to earth, is kicked out of heaven, Satan falls like lightning. Man-child birth and Antichrist both equal 726, Harpazo, in the same exact type of gematria, English gematria. How's that for confirmation that the man-child is caught up at the same time that the dragon is cast out? We are the man-child. Matthew 24:37. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Second coming equals 726. The rapture is the second coming. I know that's not what people have been told, but that's what it is. This is when we get into the ark and the ark door shuts at the coming of the Son of Man at the Feast of Trumpets. Now look at those numbers. Matthew 24:37. 24 times 37 equals 888. Jesus in the Greek equals 888. And remember, it's about the coming of the Lord and the flood. Donald J. Trump equals 888. And so does Time Traveler. And they've already admitted that the actor for Biff, or the character for Biff in Back to the Future, was portrayed as Donald Trump, hence the Time Traveler. And the number 8, of course, right? 8 people got on the ark. 8 means new beginnings. Look at this. This is too crazy, man. Nebuchadnezzar also equals 888. Just like Donald J. Trump in the exact same type of gematria, English gematria. And who was Nebuchadnezzar? He was the king of Babylon. Who was Donald J. Trump? The king of Mystery Babylon, America. The empire that's all around the world in every country almost. And Rapture Escape equals 888 in English gematria. And we know in Luke that it talks about pray to make sure we're worthy to escape all these things. That's the Rapture Escape. 888. All right, but what I really wanted to show you guys was this day count. This is crazy. Check this out. So we know that the Feast of Trumpets is from September 22nd to the 24th. It's basically a 2-day festival, right? Not only the 23rd. So if you start from September 24th this year on the Feast of Trumpets, the last day, and you go back 888 days, 888, you come directly on April 20th, 2023. Now, why is this completely insane? Because of what happened on April 20th in 2023 and how it's connected to the day count that hits the last day of the Feast of Trumpets and Satan falling like lightning. The hybrid solar eclipse on April 20th, 2023 began late on April 19th in some parts of the world. So it actually hits from April 20th and April 19th, September 23rd, September 24th, 2025, with the 888 day count. And do y'all get what this is? The hybrid chimera solar eclipse is exactly 888 days before the Feast of Trumpets this year. And what happens when Satan falls like lightning? Hybrid, chimera, Antichrist. Is that crazy? That's right, that's crazy. And that's what the 9/11 ritual was all about. Tearing the two down, twin tower, and making one out of them. The two becoming one, just like the hybrid chimera. And that's what the calculation was for Luke 10:18. When you add it to its reflection, 10:18 plus its reflection, 9/11 one way, 9/11 the other way. Satan falling like lightning, 9/11 connected to this. I mean, and then the One World Trade Center looks like a giant needle. Because that also has to do with all this. The abomination that will cause and has caused desolation. And you know, how it changes your DNA and everything. And I'm not saying you can't be saved. I'm just saying it was abomination. But you see that? Twin towers. The two tearing the two down, the twins. And then becoming one. A chimera. Connected to 9/11, which is Luke 10:18. When you add it to its reflection is 9/11 both ways. And as I've shown, the other direct connection to 9/11 and 2001, Twin Towers, and the Feast of Trumpets, 2025, September 23rd, the direct connection is the day count, because it is 8,778 days from 9/11 Twin Towers to Feast of Trumpets this year, 9/23. 8778 days. Now, when you take the verse about the Feast of Trumpets, which is Matthew 24:36, the day that no man knows the day or the hour, we know that's talking about the Feast of Trumpets. Because the Feast of Trumpets is the day that no man knows the day or the hour. And that is Matthew 24:36. 24:36 plus its reflection, 6342, is 8778. How crazy is this stuff, man? I mean, so let me sum that up for you. The day count from the Twin Towers 9/11 2001 to September 23rd 2025 this year, the Feast of Trumpets, 8778. Now we find that number in the verse about the Feast of Trumpets, which is Matthew 24:36, the day that no man knows the day or the hour. Because 24:36 plus its reflection, 6342, is 8778. And then, of course, 87 plus 78, 8778. 165, add it to its reflection, 561, and you get 726 Harpazo. This number just keeps showing up around these Feast of Trumpets calculations. And then, of course, 8 plus 7 is 15. And 8 and 7 plus 8 is 15. So multiply 15 times 15. 225. Shorthand for 2025. And if you want to get 2025, all you're going to do is multiply that by 9. And you get 2025. Now we know that Trump is Biff in Back to the Future. And the car goes 88. Trump equals 88, right? And so Trump's connection with Back to the Future is huge. There's so many things. But then the lightning falls. Satan falls like lightning from heaven. But at the same time, boom, the rapture happens. Right? It's simultaneous. But the the telltale sign part in this scene is coming up right now. And remember, Luke 10:18, when you add it to itself backwards, is 9/11 and 9/11 backwards. Satan falling like lightning, Luke 10:18. And now watch the screen closely as it zooms out. Do you see the 9 on the left side and the 11 in the middle? 9/11. 9/11. It's interesting because at the time that Satan falls like lightning, you have Matthew 24:27. For as the lightning cometh out of the east and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. So at the rapture, Jesus is like lightning, but then at the same time, Satan falls like lightning. The Julian calendar is currently 13 days behind the Gregorian calendar. So what we're on today is the Gregorian calendar. Therefore, to convert a Gregorian date to a Julian date, you subtract 13 days. So September 24th, 924, subtract 13 days is 9/11. So 9/11 on the Julian is 924 on our calendar today. But it also could be 923 depending on where you are on the earth. So I'm going to end this video with this piece of information, very vital to the Christian understanding of the rapture. The Feast of Trumpets, also known as Rosh Hashanah, is referred to as the day that no man knows the day or hour. Geez, Christians would have known that. Game changer. Because its exact start is determined by the sighting of the new moon by witnesses, making the specific timing uncertain. This uncertainty is a key aspect of the feast and is reflected in the biblical text, particularly in Matthew 24:36 that we went over in this video, where Jesus states that no man knows the day or the hour of his return. We're getting there. We are getting there.